Welcome to the Heartfire Rising podcast, personal growth in less than 5 minutes. I'm your host, Danielle Palli. Thank you for being here. And today I am really excited to have a friend, a colleague, and an amazing coach, the Sudden Widow coach, Teresa Beshwate. Teresa, thanks for being here.
So nice to be here, Danielle. Thank you.
So let's dive in because we only have less than 5 minutes. So I want to talk about inertia versus intention. I've heard you speak on it before. What does that mean?
Gosh, inertia. When I think of inertia, I always think of it as being at rest, like taking no action. And if I have a big project, I'm like, just get over the inertia of not having started it, and then it'll be easier, right? So there's actually two other kinds of inertia. This is so interesting. So there's the inertia of rest, which is just staying in place until some other force knocks you into action. But there's also the inertia of motion, which is continuing at the same speed, unless something changes your speed. And that to me is just like the being on that treadmill of busyness, active stagnation, as our friend Dr. Roger would say, And then there's a third type of inertia, which is inertia of direction, meaning that we just keep going in the same direction until something changes it. And it's that notion of, making 1% changes or having a North Star, like what direction do we want to be going? And that kind of takes us to intention. Like we operate, many of us, on inertia, some form of one of those three forms of inertia, but how much more could we do and how much different could we be if we function on intention? It's like, do we do the same things but expect different results, or do we really live by design? And I think that's the question.
I love that, living by design. So for somebody listening to this, what is an action item to move from that state of inertia to the state of intention? What's a step they can take?
Oh, so good. Well, actions come from how we're feeling, and how we're feeling is a product of what we're thinking. So my answer is always going to be, what are you thinking that's creating that form, whatever form of inertia you might be in, whether it's rest or motion or direction? What are the thoughts that are producing what feeling, which is then producing the action of whatever form of inertia you're in? So what is the thought, and is that serving you? Maybe not, if you're inert in some way. Right. And if that's true, then what other thought would be true that would serve you? So to me, it's always looking at the thoughts. And we know that thoughts prompt feelings, which drive action, which aggregate, pile up, and create results in our lives. So what I would offer is that unexamined thoughts create results too, just maybe not the results that we want. So holding up those thoughts into the light and saying, does this serve me? Is it true? Knowing that ultimately our thoughts end up in our results, for better or worse, hopefully for better, right?
Good stuff. Now, would you recommend somebody stop randomly during the day and say, what am I thinking? Or is it when something particularly negative or uncomfortable comes up?
Could be any of those. And it could also be, is this the result I'm after?
Perfect.
Right? It could be any of those.
Teresa Beshwate, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.